Hi, Women in Film. My name is Debbie Levin. I'm a producer, director, and development executive. I have been working as a producer and director for over a decade. I started back in about 2003, 2004. I've been a producer on Top Chef, Real Housewives, dozens of networks, ABC, NBC, Animal Planet, HGTV, Food Network, National Geographic, the Discovery Channel. I feel like I've done it all. When COVID hit, and the industry shut down, it was definitely a shock to the system. I think all of our systems, especially those that work as freelancers. If you're a freelancer, you are not protected by a union, you are not staff. If you're not working, you're not getting paid. You have no benefits. If you get sick and you don't have health insurance, you're in big trouble. So for those of you starting out in the industry, a lot of you probably will start off as freelancers. My advice to you is, while you won't be making a lot of money out of the gate, start putting some aside, create a nest egg. So when something like this happens, should something like a pandemic happen or anything else that shuts down the industry for some reason, you've got something other than just unemployment to live off of, because most production happens in big cities like Los Angeles and New York. And unfortunately, they're very expensive cities to live in, and unemployment is not going to pay your rent. And unless you want to live in a studio with 4 other people, I would advise looking into money management and definitely setting aside money for a rainy day, or in this case, a pandemic. I think for me personally, it allowed me the time. For all of us, when the pandemic hit, our lives became a little more quiet. It's almost like we kind of went back maybe 2 decades, 3 decades for some of us. You can't meet with your friends for dinner. In order to maintain friendships and be social, you actually had to pick up the phone, which was pretty amazing. I actually like how things slowed down. It allowed me to focus on what's important. First and foremost, the most important thing, obviously for all of us, was our family's health, our friends' health. And in a very close second, it was work. And for me, what it did is it quieted the noise, kind of the surround sound that's constantly happening in our industry. We wear 100 hats. We're thinking in the moment, but also 5 days ahead at the same time. I mean, those of us that work in the industry are really, we could run the world, let's be honest. But when you're forced to stop and the noise stops, I personally focused on what I want to do in terms of content. Now, when you're starting off, you can't be picky about what you work on. I have certainly worked on some shows that I would love to leave off my list of credits, but I put them on because now I can look back at it and laugh at it. But in the beginning, you really can't choose what you work on in terms of, jobs, in terms of jobs and actually making a paycheck. But when you've been in the industry as long as I have, you can be a little bit more selective. And so what COVID has done for me, and because I'm so politically involved, it has pointed me in the direction that I always knew was inside of me, but it has forced me to really go down that path and to make an effort to focus on that. And for me personally, that's telling stories about social issues and civil rights that contributes to not only entertaining people, but also the conversations that we're having as a country. So I have decided to stop working in reality TV and focus on docuseries and documentaries with subjects and subject matter that I'm interested in, and I think have great stories, but that also I think it could sell, and I think could have an impact on the world, and that's important to me.